coming to you today to give you a list of my 10 things I wish I would have known before starting a daycare, in-home daycare. There are... All right, go ahead and go. Go ahead and go, Michaela.
Wow.
Say hi. I thought you had to use the phone. Okay, so
Wait.
so basically, starting out, the first thing that I wish I would have known before starting my daycare is to never change my rates, never lower my rates, because in order to fill my daycare. When I first started, my rates weren't high, but they were higher than the daycare centers in my area, because I knew what I was worth. But because I wasn't getting anybody, I lowered them. And instead of like lowering them a little bit, I lowered them a lot. And a lot of parents came my way, but at the same time, I wasn't working for much of anything, and I was always stressed, and it just wasn't worth it. So along with that, the second thing that I wish I would have known is to not change my hours. So along with changing my rates, I would extend hours just so I could take children, and I would open earlier than I want to, or I would work weekends. So when I first started, I was working weekends, nights, pretty much 24/7. I was open, and working 24/7 and not getting paid $1, $2 per hour can take its toll on you, and it really did. I wasn't getting any time to spend with my family, and I also didn't have money to pay for it. All right, so basically, I was overworking myself and underpaying myself. So say hi.
Hi.
Do you see Jalen back there?
No.
She said no. So yeah, so basically just getting underpaid. Jalen, bye. And working way too many hours. The third thing I wish I would have known before is look, I'm gonna turn. So the third thing I wish I would have known was to take payments in advance. When I first started out, I would, keep kids for a week, and then parents would pay me on that Friday. And in the beginning, I had a lot of parents that would bring their kids for a week, and then that Friday they would say they will pay me when they pick up, and then they would come pick up, and then they still wouldn't have any money, and then I would never hear from them ever again. So that happened to me tons of times. So I definitely wish I would have known that before starting a daycare. Excuse me.
I want your phone.
And so that's definitely a big one. I also had a person when I first started out, weeks behind. I'm sure she owed me thousands of dollars. She was so far behind. But just trying to help people out in this business, you really can't help a lot of people. I mean, we try to, but you'll probably end up getting screwed over in the end, because it's just the truth. A lot of parents will try to get childcare as free or cheap as they can. So it's definitely another thing I wish I would have known before starting an in-home daycare. My fourth thing is not to feel bad about taking any vacations or any breaks. When I first started, like I said, I worked through all the holidays. Anytime school was closed, I had kids, from school-age kids, and all right. So I said you have to be quiet if you sit here, okay? All right, so definitely about taking vacations, because like I said, I would still be open on the days that on pretty much every holiday I was open, maybe except for Christmas, something like that. But most holidays I would be open, and I would still be getting, even though parents are off, they would still bring their kids because I was open. So that got old very quickly, and I basically learned to stop doing that. But I definitely wish I would have known that before I started. Number 5 is to I wish I wasn't afraid to turn down parents or to terminate parents. There have been plenty of times, especially with the pay issue, that I would be afraid to terminate a family just because I feel like I would lose out on money. But in the end, I was losing out on money anyway because they weren't paying, or if a child had discipline issues and it would carry on to other children, and then other children would start doing those. Or I had one time I had a child who would like to bite, and so I lost other customers because I was too afraid to get rid of that one family. I ended up losing other families because that child was biting their children. So just I wish I would have known not to be afraid to terminate a family if they don't, if they're, basically if my needs don't fit their family. So, and also if I'm doing an interview with a parent and I see something that I know isn't right, or I know that I probably won't be able to accommodate them, don't feel like I have to take them just because I have to take them. I don't. I have a choice. They have a choice whether they want to come to me, and I have a choice whether I want to take them or not. Okay? And then the next thing is not to allow parents to go outside of my contract. We make a contract for a reason. If I have late fees or times that I'm closed, when I first started, I didn't incorporate any late fees. I learned to stop doing that really quick. I learned to start charging late fees, and then some days when I finally did start closing, I would feel bad for some parents who did have to work, and so then I would open. And so then if I plan to be off and spend time just with my family or just relaxing, taking a break, then that would go out the window because I'd still take a family who has to work. So, and also to go along with that, for the making a contract, if you have a sick policy, definitely stick to it, because if you allow sick children to come in, then everybody gets sick, and then you get sick, because that's definitely happening to me. and then and you too, yep. And so then your kids get sick, and so it's like and get the pink eye, yep, she knows. And so you just have to, yep, and your throat hurts. So definitely don't allow any sick children to come. Just whatever, I just wish I would have known whatever I have in my policy, just to stick to it. Because once you let a parent get away with it or let them slide, they'll keep sliding over and over, and they'll keep doing it over and over again. Okay. The next thing I wish I would have known was not to take any babies. Like, not, I say babies, but I mean like newborn babies, teeny tiny babies. If that was the only age I take, I would definitely do it. But since I have older kids, I have a 9-year-old, 7-year-old, and then I have a lot of 2, 3, and 4-year-olds. So to bring a newborn baby into the mix, sometimes I felt like, ooh, this is another child, I have to sign them. But now I feel like I'm not taking any babies. It's just too much. It's too much work trying to, I guess, trying to take care of a newborn baby while I'm working with so many different other ages. It can be done. I just don't prefer to do that, and I probably won't ever take babies. I will take, once they start walking, I do take between 1 and 2-year-olds, because they're so busy trying to be to act older and play with older kids that they do pretty well. The next thing I wish I would have known is to not worry so much about DHR coming into my house or the food program coming into my house. Before, it was really scary to me just to think people can just knock on your door and come in. But it doesn't really matter. I mean, we do what we do every day. It doesn't matter who comes in to see or comes in to watch. We have accreditation is going to be coming soon, to basically shadow me and check out our daycare. So I'm just learning more and more not to be afraid of people watching me in my element. I mean, I love working with kids. They obviously love me. Daycare kids. So basically, I just learned not to be nervous and to just do what we always do, and just don't stress about it. If they do find something out of place, I don't worry about it. I just put it up where it is supposed to go, and I just keep tending to the kids, because that's pretty much what I'm here for. And let's see, number 9 is to not worry about kids learning. We use a curriculum, but I don't stress about it anymore like I used to, because even when I didn't have a curriculum, the kids still learned. So kids are always going to learn regardless of pretty much what you do with them. They learn everything. I took a break from, I guess, teaching kids just so I can spend more time homeschooling and let the other ones just play in a room while I was homeschooling. And they probably learned more then than they did when I was actually teaching, because because they're listening while I'm teaching my older kids. So pretty much I've learned not to stress out about teaching them. I do teach them, but I just don't stress out about it, because they pick up so much. So they learn a lot just from playing. And number 10, the last thing that I wish I would have known before I started in home daycare is that this is a business, and I have to treat it like a business. When I first started, I just considered myself a babysitter. I really didn't take it. I mean, I took it serious because I wanted to make money and stay home. But now this is pretty much my career. This is what I love doing. Even when my kids are probably grown and out the house, I'm sure I'll probably still be doing this. I love it. And this is pretty much my business, my career. And I have to treat it that way. So that's 10 things I wish I would have known before starting a daycare. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, like KK said. A thumbs up, not a thumbs down, not a thumbs down, not a thumbs down. She loves doing that. And so, and then subscribe to our channel, and we will see you guys later.